Hey yo, I am the star in any room that I stand in. I am the standout, you just my stand-in. These bitches copy my homework, that's what they hand in. That's why I'm private like the airports I land in. Life is a beach house, don't let the sand in. I ball in any arena, go let the fans in.
And while we here, if you light skin or racially ambiguous, like, I feel like it's genuinely your job to combat colorism and don't allow men to fetishize you for your skin color while downplaying dark-skinned women. Like, I just don't go for that. Like, I know some women that do and think that that's cute. Like, oh, they like me because I look exotic or I'm light-skinned. No, bitch. Tell me why you don't like dark-skinned women. Tell me. So I can block you, because I don't play that. I don't tolerate that in any form of fashion. I don't tolerate it from women, they, them, he, her, she, other. I don't play that. So, like I said, as a light-skinned woman, as a racially ambiguous woman, I genuinely feel like it's our job to combat colorism. And no, we don't face colorism as light-skinned people. It's a definition for the fucking word. And it literally doesn't include discrimination against light-skinned people. I'm so very sorry. Okay, you're amazing. I love you. Bye.
What's up, y'all? I hope all is well. So in this video, I want to do some brief commentary in response to that video that I showed, as well as connecting it to this tweet that I've literally had in the chamber for like probably 3 years and I just never talked about it. So I was like, I've had this for a minute. Let me just talk about this or whatever, especially when I found some new content to pair up with them. And it's still very relevant. So I want to respond to the video first, and then I'm going to respond to the tweet. And so the common theme in both of these pieces of media is that the message is that it's light skin and mixed women's responsibility to combat or to push back against colorism. And it's not the notion itself that I disagree with. I don't really necessarily disagree, but I kind of want to give a different perspective on this topic as well, because I do feel like this is common phrasing when it comes to colorism and situations like this. And I'm just gonna be honest with you. I often find that within people of African descent conversations, whether it is in regards to maintaining a relationship romantically, finding a man, career-wise, whatever, there's always this extra emphasis placed on it's the woman's responsibility to make it work. It's the woman's responsibility to correct the behavior. It's the woman's responsibility to make sure she's doing everything correctly so that he's not cheating or the man is happy. You know, I just always feel like the responsibility is always put on the women to do the emotional labor of pushing back on whatever's going on or managing certain situations. And I just feel like that's a little bit unfair. And so I don't disagree with the girl in the video. I understand what she was saying, but I also think it's a little unfair to put the burden on light-skinned women to solve the problem if it's the man that's saying this stuff, because in reality, just based on how she was phrasing it, we know that that's basically most likely what she's talking about, like a man saying like that he likes her because of the way she looks, you know, because of her being like light skinned or mixed or whatever. And then she's also talking about other light skinned and mixed women who might, I guess, pride themselves on being light skinned and mixed. And it's like, well, where did they get that feeling from? Where did they get gassed up from? They didn't get gassed up from other heterosexual women or just out of thin air. They still got it from men. You know what I mean? So why is the responsibility on women to solve that? Like, you know, it's not cool to think that you are better or look better or whatever based on another woman being disparaged or talked down to. But at the same time, it's nothing wrong with loving how you present and you look at the same time. That's different than a man trying to triangulate two women based on their skin color. So it's a complex issue. So I feel like it kind of can go both ways, because if a light skin or mixed woman is just loving their self and their heritage, that's not inherently bad unless they're trying to say that they are more worthy or better than another woman of African descent because they're light skinned or mixed. It's not inherently bad for light skinned women to look like how they look, or, you know, whatever, or for a man to find us beautiful. So it's not on the woman's responsibility. It's on the man's responsibility to make sure he's not triangulating women or devaluing people based on their skin tone or being discriminatory. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just feel like the emotional baggage with colorism is always placed on women, specifically light skinned women or dark skinned women to solve. Like, rarely y'all ever hold these men's feet to the fire and say, okay, what consequences socially, economically, romantically, whatever, are you gonna give to these men for triangulating women against each other based on color, all while they literally provide nothing, ain't marry nobody, bring nothing but dysfunction, dust, despair, and struggle to women, but y'all sitting up here, you know, fighting colorism battles with each other and talking about it's your responsibility to solve an issue that nobody's even benefiting from. So I just kind of feel like it's a waste of time. Like, these men cause way too many issues to be sitting up here having a skin tone preference to begin with. So I'm personally in the school of thought that if you get the vibe that a man is color struck or he has racial color problems in general, you shouldn't even deal with him. And this is a huge reason as to why I never limited myself to only dating Black or Hispanic men. I dated anybody and everybody. And most of the men that I dated were not even Black, largely because a lot of them are color struck and do have their own psychological and emotional issues that they don't want to address. So hearing other light-skinned women sit up here and police each other and tell each other, oh yeah, it's your responsibility to solve this or to check this XYZ, when these men need to be checking their self into psychological institution or into some therapy, some better help. I don't know. They need to be doing something. Y'all never make these types of videos. Y'all never tell these men to go get therapy or to go address their mama or skin tone issues, but y'all constantly telling other light-skinned women that we need to do XYZ to aid in colorism. And don't even get me wrong, I do feel like people of African descent and people of color in general do inherently have a responsibility to be against colorism and to push back against colorism and to not believe in it. I completely agree. I don't care how light you are, how mixed you up you are, whatever. I feel like if you're a person of color, you inherently should be pushing back on colorism, shouldn't agree with it, because it don't benefit any person of color at all. It only benefits European ideations and power structure. So regardless of your skin color or your gender, you should be pushing back on colorism, and it's your responsibility to combat it. So why is it always only directed at light-skinned women needing to solve colorism? Like, I just find that annoying, especially because I'm just going to be honest with you, I don't even feel like a lot of women of African descent genuinely have color issues. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you, like, even when like lighter skinned women or Black women of any skin tone, no matter their ethnicity, even when they have a preference for white men, or they do tend to think that maybe like Eurocentricized beauty standards are more appealing, we don't project that onto other people. Like, we're not running around telling Black men their hair is too nappy and kinky to get with. We're not running around saying, oh, you're not like a white man, so you're not hubby material. Like, women of African descent, even Spanish women, don't even move like that. Even when they do think white men, or they lean more into white mentalities, they still are not running around terrorizing men of color based on these standards and trying to triangulate them and talking down to them based on judging them in comparison to white men. That's something that men of color do. That's something that Black men specifically do. So it's just not even the same. It's not even a fair comparison. So again, I don't really understand why it's light-skinned women's responsibility to combat something that's largely 90% of the time being perpetuated by men. And even when Black women have color issues, I'm only talking about Black women for this situation just because it's easier, but even when Black women have color issues, largely they simply internalize that, and it personally harms themselves. They don't run around projecting that onto other people. Now, it might harm their children, it might harm their siblings who they project their issues on, then it becomes an issue. But largely, Black women are not conducting media smear campaigns against the men in their community based on them not fitting into Eurocentric beauty standards of femininity. You know what I mean? But that's something that Black men are literally doing. They're the ones triangulating Hispanic women against African American women, trying to elevate people outside of their ethnicity over the women in their group. They're the ones doing that. Black women and women of African descent, whether they be Hispanic or not, don't have a reputation of doing that. But that's something that Black men whether they be Hispanic or not, because Hispanic black men do this also. So that's something that they have a reputation of doing, not the women. So why is it our responsibility to solve that? Like, you know what I mean? And we are the ones who actually have a history with being with white men, and even then we still don't triangulate and weaponize that against the men in our group. So it's all just weird how this is constantly being put on our shoulders to solve when we really aren't really the problem in the situation, to be honest. And even in our interpersonal relationships, women of African descent generally do not have color issues. Now, there might be resentment, little slights, pettiness, female competition, whatever, but that happens with any skin tone, every group, whatever. That can happen with women who look the same, who are in the same phenotype. They have those same issues. So it's not really a color problem. It's really just girlhood problems. So yeah, that's not, even like black girls and Spanish girls get along great in California, New York, Miami. Generally, we all hang out with each other. We all be together. We are all friends. We have similar experiences. We get along. So this is a narrative that's largely perpetuated online, mostly by men, not by women ourselves. So again, why is it our responsibility to solve? But yeah, so now I want to give some commentary on the tweet, because I feel like this tweet has a similar undertone to it as the video did, to where it's placing the responsibility on light-skinned women, when really the root of this conversation is getting chosen by men, which isn't really a positive thing either. But again, why are we making it women of African descent's responsibility to control the actions of men and how they're moving and shaking and choosing? It's just kind of strange to me. I'm in the school of thought that you should just completely remove yourself from the dynamic and the equation altogether. You shouldn't even, these men shouldn't even believe that they have you in the equation to be able to triangulate you against other women or to talk about other women. They shouldn't even feel comfortable. Like, they shouldn't even feel like, because they don't even provide enough to have a preference. You don't even provide nothing. You ain't building nothing. You ain't passing down no generational wealth. You ain't even marrying nobody. You can barely even get somebody out the damn talking stage, but you got all these preferences and you sit up here triangulating people. Like, it's just insane to me. So I feel like black women are going out bad by having these men even having the time of day and believing that they even have all of these options to be picky and choosy when you ain't even providing nothing. But anyway, so this tweet says, so the original tweets that this girl reposts says, I guess it's some black male or whatever. So he says, beg someone to show me a lang ting with a personality to match. I don't even know what that means. This girl is going to retweet his tweet that's inaudible anyway. Nobody can even understand what he's saying. He can't even phrase a sentence, no punctuation, can't even use real words, literally making up vocabulary. But she gonna retweet it like this dude is some type of prize and be like, oh, maybe if y'all rappers stop looking for light-skinned influencers, you'll find what you're really looking for. And so this tweet is a great example of what really irritates me about this discussion, because black women are out here going out bad behind dudes who don't even know what periods or real words are. Like, this is embarrassing. Like, we should not be sitting up here making video, PSAs to each other, talking about upholding something or privilege or whatever, and then y'all on here on Twitter, retweeting them, telling them to, trying to deter them from dating other women because of their skin color. It's just like, this is just embarrassing. Like, these men are no prize. So that's another reason why I'm kind of impatient with this discussion anyway, because it's like, this is really who y'all are going back and forth over. Like, these males is really, it's weird to me. But yeah, I just feel like her post was so male identified and really just like, really out of touch with today's mentality of women, because it's like, again, like I said, this dude is probably not a prize, but then she's like, well, if y'all stop looking for light-skinned influencers, you'll probably find what you're looking for. So basically you're saying that because the girl is a light-skinned influencer, she got a bad personality. Well, how did she become an influencer if she has a bad personality? Like, some of these influencers do be boring, but it's like, how would you know what her personality is when you only see an edited version of her through the internet? And then why are you bringing up her skin tone? Because you know good and goddamn well that if the girl who made the first video that I reviewed you, if she made a post and she said, oh, maybe if y'all stop choosing dark skinned influencers, you'll find what you're looking for, everybody would jump on her and correct her and say that her post was weird, rightfully so, because it would be weird, because what do skin tone even got to do with this? Like, but you bringing it up because y'all judge that as some type of like character analysis, and y'all judge people based on like skin tone and stuff like that, and it's just kind of weird. Like, but so if people want to say black men have skin color issues, then it would be when it comes to stuff like this. But it's like, where are they internalizing those feelings from? From men of African descent constantly triangulating women based on skin tone. So this is why they be in little desirability politic games with each other, saying tit for tat shit based on skin tone, when it really has nothing to do with this, because a man is gonna go where he want to be regardless of they skin color. So it's like, I just feel like it's unfortunate when I see brown skin, dark skin women kind of like promoting themselves or pandering to them in the sense of like trying to like say light skinned women don't understand them, or light skinned women have bad personalities, or like trying to put down who light skinned women are to try to say, well, we're a better option, or like we understand you. And like now you have black women running around defending 𝙀𝙀𝙢𝙀𝙢 against a brown skinned woman. Just like weird shit. Like, why are you even inserting yourself into these discussions? Like, it's just weird and just male identified as hell. But yeah, I noticed that like black men are very defensive of black men when it comes to colorism, and they're always making it seem like light skinned women mean them harm and like are not good fit for them, but they are. And it's like, why would you even want to subject yourself to what they be putting these light skinned women through? Because these are not even excellent relationships that these women be getting into. So I don't even understand why, number one, light skinned women see it as a privilege, and I don't understand why y'all see it as something worth fighting for, because everybody's getting a whole lot of nothing. Like, y'all literally out here fighting over damn crumbs with niggas who don't even know what periods and sentences are. So it's just strange to me. So I just found it really funny that she made this post, because it was so shady and childish. She was like, well, if y'all stop looking at light-skinned influencers, you'll find what you're looking for. And so I guess she's implying that like she's what they're looking for, like she's a better fit. Like, yeah, but this is always about some tit for tat desirability politics, dating bullshit. So I feel like this is a thing. In one regard, I do understand where brown skin, dark skin women are coming from in regards to how a lot of black men are color struck, and you mostly see them gravitating towards lighter skinned women. Like, I empathize and I do understand where y'all are coming from with that, and I do completely validate your feelings, and I agree and observe with what y'all saying as well. So I'm never trying to diminish their experience or their perspective on things. My issue though is that, why do y'all sometimes need to downplay light-skinned women's personalities or who we are or our ethnicity or our appearance and things like that, try to put us down in efforts to try to build yourself up to show that you're a better fit for these males that are no prize to begin with? Like, that's what really gets me. It's that the men are no prize. Like, I don't even agree with the light-skinned women that try to act like they get some privilege by having access to these men. Like, I don't even agree with that shit. But at the same time, why you gotta put down other women because this man is triangulating y'all like based on skin tone? Like, it's just weird to me and it's childish. So that's one part of it. And then, yeah, like I said, I don't even agree with other light-skinned women who feel like it's a privilege, to have access to these men, because somebody making a comment or saying that they like how they look is not inherently a privilege. It's just some ignorant conversation. It just, like, the standard of what y'all see as privilege is not only very childish, but it's very low. And it comes from, it just speaks to me, the lack of resources within the black community, and the fact that a lot of women of African descent, they view a relationship or being with a man, they view that as like an accomplishment, even though in real life we accomplish a lot and we are generally high earners. But I only really hear accomplishments really hear women of African descent talking about what an accomplishment is in regards to a successful marriage or being a wife or not being a baby mama. Meanwhile, we're some of the most educated women in this group, and just people in educated women in this country, and some of the highest earning and educated people in this country in general, especially amongst women. So it's just really strange how there's so much tit for tat when it comes to desirability with these men, and that's really what it's about. But yeah, and like even though I don't agree with the whole light skin privilege take, I do agree with the other girl that I feel like any person of color should push back about colorism. But at the same time, I just feel like y'all put a lot of responsibility on light skinned women. I never hear y'all putting no responsibility on the men. So that's kind of my only issue. And I really feel like it's because y'all over romanticize having a man and being chosen. Like that's something that y'all see as valuable. So to you, you do see it as a privilege, as where I don't have that same mentality. So it doesn't translate the same as me. In fact, I see being connected to these men and being in a relationship with them as a burden. I see that as something that lowers you socially, that lowers you economically, that stresses you out, that makes you ugly and fat and bogs you down barefoot and pregnant with children. That's how I associate relationships with them. I don't associate relationships with them. Oh, did I also say that I associate relationships with them as emotionally abusive, distressing, possibly physically, sexually, and emotionally unsafe? That is how I view relationships with them. So I don't view having access to them as a privilege. So I could give a damn if you are on Twitter, shading people for being light skinned influencers. Who cares? Like, you know what I mean? So that's just my perspective on it. It's just about how you look at things. I don't view access to them as a privilege, so that's just why I don't interpret it that way, even though I do agree that everybody should be pushing back on colorism. But anyway, get in the comment section and let me know what y'all thought about this video, what you thought about the video I responded to, as well as the tweet. Thanks for all the support. Bye-bye.